Hey everybody, it's the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and I am very excited to be catching up with Tyrus. Hello.
How are you? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff.
Right, happy holidays. How are you doing?
I'm phenomenal. Busy, just doing a lot of stuff today. Doing stuff for my show, Enough Said. Then I just did my podcast, Tyrus and Timph, and it was literally an amazing episode. We went into deep dive in one of the I think greatest Christmas songs of all time, but apparently it's the worst. And if you've never heard it, you need
Which is it?
It's by Liz Bennett, and it is amazing. That's all I can say. When I don't want to give a spoiler alert, but we play it the entire podcast. Christmas podcast is centered around this song. So check it out. It is really good. And Kat is really mad at me because I was in love with this song, and the worst, saddest, selfish song ever on Christmas. So really enjoy it. It was made in like 1975, so it's really amazing. So
oh my gosh,
fun time.
I enjoy the podcast because I learn all these little tidbits about you that I wouldn't have known prior, and it really just feels like two friends kind of shooting the breeze back and forth, but also interjecting news here and there. So one thing I discovered is that when you were on the road, one of the biggest things you used to eat were Whoppers. Like that was your guilty pleasure.
Yeah, Whoppers were my guilty pleasure. Yeah, Waffle Houses, Whoppers, and then where else did we go? We spent a lot of time at because I was used to be on the road with Sandow and Santino, and
Nice.
always tried to eat clean as best we could. We tried to avoid it occasionally. Like I said, if I was going to have a cheat, it was going to be a Whopper. But we would always look for specific restaurants. So we spent a lot of time in diners. A lot of like,
right, yeah, I do that a lot too when you have like the wrestling tours and stuff.
yeah, a lot of egg whites and stuff. And we were in one place together, and I ordered 16 egg whites. And when they gave me the bill, it was $57. They charged me like $3 an egg white, and I'm like, it's an egg white. There's not even yolk in it. So we had to negotiate down. We ended up with $14 because the waitress got confused. So whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, we had to be very creative on the road.
That's an upcharge. Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous. It was terrible.
Was there anything you really craved when on the road? Almost like a meal from home that you really wanted? Because like it is always the fast food and the diners and.
Yeah. Oh well, like I said, it depends who you travel with. Like Santino was adamant about eating clean, so we'd forego spots. We would like plan ahead. Would find places to eat healthy. A lot of Outbacks and stuff. Steak and vegetables was better than Wendy's or Taco Bell. Just junk. So you gotta. And it's not good for your body either, so you have to really work hard. But my favorite food that I couldn't get on the road was veal parmesan. That's my favorite. Parmesan favorite. So I would crave that every once in a while.
Maybe you can have that over the holidays, right? Next week.
Probably a good
Veal
chance.
Parm.
Yeah.
Something that always makes me laugh is whenever I see the promo pictures or anything for the Fox shows, it's always, suit and ties. And then it's like you go back and be like full wrestling promo. You have your chains on. Like, I love how you just stand out.
It's on right now. Like I dress the same as I did since I was 13. That's when I started wearing a hat backwards, and I have not changed. And I refuse to change. And I also feel like I'm not a real super like I'm not trying to make a political statement, but I'm like it's really not about wearing suits and ties. It's about being good at your job, being comfortable, and if you're different, just be different. I'm comfortable with my hat on. So that's what I like. That's what makes me relax or whatever. And I look terrible in suits. They're too tight on my arms. My legs always rip. Like I had to wear a tuxedo for a charity event, and it was in a tuxedo. And I was walking, and then at one point I turned, and then one pocket ripped, and I was like, oh man. So my legs were like busting out of this tuxedo. And then when I sat down, my phone was in my other pocket, and as I reached to get my pocket, I felt it tear all the way down. So like literally both my pants were ripped on both sides. So I just sat the rest of the charity event.
I bet.
So fun times. So, but yeah, so I just dress comfortable, and I can't help it. Like photo shoots, I don't know if you've been in a few or not. They are boring. I'm not a model. Like, so they're like, "Yo, give us something." Okay, so I just go into like wrestling stuff and give them a bunch of poses and stuff, and no one else does it, so they think it's genius, because like you're supposed to be like thinking and using your brain. But I'm like, no, I only have a couple serious looks, so I'll just go with what I know. And at least it's fun for me. So
I love that because it really does not only make you stand out from the crowd, but as you said, it doesn't matter how you dress. You can be fit for a job, come in, be comfortable, and like you've really embraced that. It's really awesome to see.
And it comes. I mean, But my advice to everyone is, but don't let that be a hill you're going to die on. Like I got to a certain point where I was able to be my gimmick or character or who I am, and it's just a turn. You're just turning up yourself, so you get to a point where you're able to do things like that. But when I first got a job and when I first got into the business, I dressed the way I was supposed to. Like when I first got to WWE, you had to wear a suit on the road. No matter how uncomfortable it was, I wore a suit on the road. And then I got to a point where I was trusted to do the right things, and then I was able to be more relaxed and wear what I wanted. It was my gimmick. Like one of the things about the Funkasaurus was you wore a tracksuit. So I was like, well, I can wear a tracksuit wherever I go now. So, and that's kind of where it was at. And that's kind of what the character helped me do that. So I'm happy that I got a chance to do that.
You've earned it. And I'm glad you brought up Funkasaurus there because I feel like you had a lot of fun whenever
I
you
did have a lot of fun. It was one of those things where we turned a situation that could have been more like not positive, being made fun of or whatever, but it was just a situation where I was ready to be on TV, and we had Kane was coming back, Mark Henry was coming back. They're both going to be heels. Big Show was going to be a heel, and I was the new guy on the block, and I was like, I'll be a baby face, whatever. Like, just time. Like, I'm ready to be on TV. So, and I was just there with Alberto Del Rio and proved myself to be a good heel. Had a good series with Edge and Christian. So I was like, I'm not going back. So what do you got? And they gave me the idea, and I was like, ooh, I need to call Dusty. So I asked before, let me go spend the day with Dusty, the great Dusty Rhodes, who was my coach and mentor. And we basically spent about 2.5, 4 hours in the gym locked out with him, making me dance with him because I hate to dance. I don't like to dance. And
that's amazing.
You really don't know what it's like to have a 60-year-old man making you dance with him, and he was messing with me pretty good. And as embarrassed as I was in there, he was like, you're never going to be more embarrassed than you are right now. So I was like, you got it, sir. So, and then the rest after that, I was ready to shove it down their throats and show like how much fun I can have it. And then, well, of course, when the bell rang, problem was I was very technical and I was very aggressive in the ring. And that's the way I was trained. So being a babyface was a little difficult for me because it's hard when you're bigger and stronger than the guys and you got to be able to sell, right? There's a lot of things that go into it, but I kind of learned on the job on that aspect of it. But it was a great challenge, and we had a lot of fun with it. So, and I look at it as like it was the moment that I knew, like, sometimes you struggle with confidence and insecurity, and safe place to be a tough guy on TV. It's real easy. But to be a character like that, you got to have a skill set. And I think that's what made me kind of fearless from whatever happened, I was going to do it, and so I always cherish the Funkasaurus because he helped me be a better me.
I love that you embraced it, going from dancing with Dusty to dancing in front of millions, right?
Yeah, telling people to call their mama at WrestleMania and they put their phone to their ears and don't understand why they're doing it is phenomenal. So.
Well, one thing I did want to bring up was the acting role that you had with Glow. It was so cool to see you appear on that. So I was curious, if you could have that dream role, what would you want to portray? What kind of character would you want to be? Do you have a dream role?
Well, yeah, I do. I would like to play I would either like to be the dad in a movie, but one that's not goofy, drunk, or dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like dads always play the horrible roles. Uncle Buck would be a movie that I would like to do like an Uncle Buck character. I think that would be great. Or I would like to be Thulsa Doom. I like to be the bad guy who dies at the end. Although I'm usually the underling bad guy who gets killed by the hero. But I'd like to make it to the end of the credits. So I've got to play a lot of different things in Hollywood and stuff. And I actually have a couple roles that are coming out. Start working on this summer where I'm in lead roles where I'm playing some fun characters. So I'm excited about that. So, but yeah, Thulsa Doom has always been. That's from Conan the Barbarian. James Earl Jones played it, and we have the same color eyes. And when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I want to be just like James Earl Jones. He's awesome. And plus, he was the greatest. He was the voice of Darth Vader. So I mean, can't get much better than James Earl Jones. So that's like my bucket list. If that role ever comes around or anything like that, I'm all over it.
That's incredible. I mean, you've obviously had an amazing 2019. It looks like 2020 is looking up to be fantastic. So I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out today,
Yeah,
catching up with me.
anytime. It's always good, and keep doing your thing. And you're blowing up, and I'm excited about your future. So keep anytime you need me, any questions, please let me know, and keep doing your thing.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your veal parm this holiday.
Yes, and you have a wonderful holiday too.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.